Alright, hey everyone. So in this video, I'm going to take you over on how to generate a program using AI. Basically, that program will be like to read the 10 last lines of a Python file, or of any file, sorry, using Python. But before we get into that, I would like to share with you a small story which happened to me while I was doing an interview. So in an interview, I was asked to write a program, to write a script to read the last 10 lines of a file. And basically, I couldn't code. Like as engineers, you always go to Google, search for something, and then, you know, write out the answers. But what I could do is I could take them through the logic. So I spoke out loud on how I would read the last 10 lines of a file if I was to write a program. So I gave them the logic and they were really impressed by it. So we had a conversation and they asked for an optimization and I was able to optimize it using theory, and I basically won the interview. That being said, let's see on how we can use like something like ChatGPT to generate the same program, right? If I was to do this, like if I was to write a program in the real world, if there was a need to write a program and I had to write a program, I would go directly to ChatGPT and do it. So let's jump into it. I have the ChatGPT open, and then basically I've asked ChatGPT on to write a code in Python to read the last 10 lines of a file, and it generated the Python script to read the last 10 lines of a file efficiently. Notice how I did not put efficiently in my prompt, but it generated a Python program to read the last 10 lines of a file efficiently. So it created the function over here, which is and named it read last lines, and then it has the file path. So the function takes the file path, and then it also takes an optional number of lines. So by default, this will be 10, but if you need, you can read 20, 8, 5, any number of lines, right? Which is pretty cool. I did not mention it to it, but it just figured it out to write this function this way. So it has a try block over here, and then it opens the file using the with. So with open, then it has the file path, read binary as file. So notice it's doing read binary, right? So it seeks the pointer to the end of the file, and then it also reads the file size. It has the buffer size, right? So this is the number of bytes it will read at a time, and then it has the lines found. So while file size is greater than 0 and lines found is less than the number of lines, so it will do read size. So it will have a minimum buffer size and then the file size. So it will pick a minimum between the buffer size and the file size. It will continue reading the file in chunks, and then basically check to see how many lines are found, right? It will decode and split the lines, raise an exception if found, and then it also spits out the example usage, which is pretty cool. So it says file path, has a file path, and then the last 10 lines. So read last lines gives it the file path, and then it prints the lines for you to make sure that everything is working right. Now, it has also provided a small explanation. So the first thing it says open in binary mode. So the file is open in binary mode to handle file pointer movements efficiently. Okay, so it seeks from the end. The pointer starts at the end of the file. It reads in chunks. It counts new lines and then it decodes and splits. All right. Now you can basically copy this code, put it in your editor, and then you know run it, etc., etc. But what I want you to pay attention to is at times it will generate a different kind of program. So at times it will generate an efficient program, and at times it wouldn't. it is your job and my job to generate, to take what it generated and then ask questions around it. So ask it to optimize, ask it to like what it did, why it did, and based on, as software engineers, we have our previous experience, right? So we know if there is a possibility to maybe like further optimize it or not, and you can just keep on asking the chat and do your small Google search, etc., etc. But like over here, I asked, why do we have buffer size? And it goes to explain the buffer size in the code is used to determine how much data to read from the file in each iteration when scanning backward. It plays a critical role in optimizing memory usage and performance. So it tests the reasons for using a buffer size. Efficiency: reading the entire file in one go, especially for large files, can be inefficient and consume a lot of memory. So it has a buffer size because you don't have to read the entire file into memory. Of course, this is obvious. And then it also has all this explanation here. And then I asked it another question, like why not read one byte at a time? So it says performance concerns, system overhead. Each read operation from a file involves interacting with the operating system's file I/O subsystem, which has overhead. If you read one byte at a time, this overhead is incurred for every single byte, leading to significant slowdown. Efficiency: reading in chunks minimizes the number of I/O operations. For example, reading 1024 bytes at once requires only one I/O call, whereas reading one byte at a time will require 1204 calls to fetch the same data. And it has all this other explanation, and you can just go ahead and ask more information, ask more questions, just get to learn and see what its thoughts are. And you can also do a small Google search. I'm sure that someone else has already done this, and there must be an answer for it in Google. But basically this is how I plan to code my way out into 2025. If you have any other interesting texts on how you want to use the AI into your workflows, on how you want to basically how you plan to use AI, if you plan to use cloud, ChatGPT, let me know in the comments below. And let me know how you found this video to be. If you want me to do more videos like this, let me know. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe and share for more. Until next time.